Wagwan. So today I'm joined by the great Luke Stoltman, Highland Oak, all the way from the north of Scotland. And we have a special guest with us today. We have Mitch, who is the director of social media of World's Strongest Man. So he controls all the pages and all the insulting stuff that you see across social media and all the
It's not just me. We got a team of people insulting people.
Yeah.
Well, we're blaming you.
How many people's in the team, Mitch?
I mean, it depends on how what time of the year. It's like 4 or 5, maybe.
4 or 5.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, the social team. I mean, we freelance. We hire around like the event, but year round, it's probably about 5 people deep.
You can nearly tell when it's you in charge.
Sure.
Can you?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can. So
when I started, we defined our voice, so we have a characteristic or a character that we're following on a lot of it. So you might not know it's me.
I know it's you. So I got some questions to ask you. Some are okay, some are dangerous, some might get you fired. This first one is this pre-event circus. I haven't a clue what that is either. What is this pre-event circus?
Pre-event circus. Maybe the car wash you're talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I thought it'd be easy just to kind of explain to fans who might not understand the process of what happens whenever you land at World's Strongest Man. So athletes start arriving Saturday, Sunday, the athlete meeting and all that kind of stuff behind closed doors thing happens then as you both know, the next 2 days it's interviews. So we call it the car wash. The guys will go through in no specific order, but kind of a merry-go-round of TV interviews, photography, like your headshots, the stuff that goes on, looks really nice on CBS. And then they come to me and we do all our digital interviews. I think you, Pa, ruined it for everyone last year whenever you were eating the cheese balls and you dropped them back into the container.
That's the secret. We weren't meant to tell anyone.
Yeah. Well, we emptied about the rest of the half of the bucket out.
No, you didn't.
Yeah. Yeah. So honestly, the reason why I wanted to come on is so we bank all that content, right? We'll ask one, puppies or kittens, and do those kinds of serialized videos, the taste tests, mean tweets, those kinds of things. So if anyone has any ideas, comment below. World's Strongest Man team will read the comments on this video of serialized content pieces, questions that you want to answer, that kind of stuff from the athletes, whether it's goofy, serious. That's the opportunity we have.
Okay, I'm glad you explained car wash, because I was going to say, what has a car wash got to do with World's Strongest Man?
Yeah, we're gonna get all 30 of you to wash a car for charity.
That's what I had in my head.
Yeah. Speaking of which, though, Luke, face of the fundraiser this year for Culture City. Thanks for doing that.
Of course, pleasure. Just a good guy.
Yeah. So that's going really well. If anybody hasn't already, we're doing it's like a raffle. Enter the raffle. The money goes towards a nonprofit here that's going to be on site at World's Strongest Man, helping people with sensory needs, whether that's autism, Down syndrome, any kind of those invisible disabilities. But free airfare, free hotel, VIP tickets, everything's covered. Yeah. So Luke volunteered his time to help us record the video.
It's okay. I've got lots of time nowadays. It's fine. I'm getting old.
Thanks, Luke.
Oh, I would have asked you, Pa, but it would have come back mildly inappropriate.
Absolutely. You're better off staying away from me at all times. Even I'm not in control of what comes out my mouth half the time. So, what are your plans for content this year?
Yeah, so we're bringing Terry over. Terry Hollins is our social media correspondent, we're calling him. I tried to find the smallest microphone we could possibly get, so like Big Terry holding the tiniest little microphone. But yeah, so we have him like running around getting those interviews with the athletes, with the fans. I think this year is going to be unique from our perspective. We're not doing the live show, which I think started in 2020 as like a way of like fans couldn't come watch it even if they wanted to. So we were like, all right, we'll do a live stream daily to like, keep people up to speed. This year, like the crowd's just going to be so large, we think, that if you want to see it, you'll be there. People will be taking photos on their phones, all that kind of stuff. So we thought it'd be more appropriate for Terry's just like getting on the fly stuff for Instagram. So that, I think you'll see a lot of like the biggest hits, celebrations, like all that kind of stuff. So a lot of like what has worked over the last 2 or 3 years, we're just going to do more of. But having that Terry role, I think, is also going to help us with like reaching a wider audience. And as both of you know, Terry's got a good sense of humor that translates really well on social. So we'll see. If he roasts y'all, that's on him, not me.
Actually, one of the most asked questions that was asked was no, I didn't ask. I didn't write this question. Okay, why isn't the greatest strongman of all time, Power Dwyer, at World's Strongest Man yet?
It's a good question. I think like I always get these questions about like
about me,
invites and events and all this kind of stuff. But in order for this to work, I have to be separated from like the actual competition, right? Because like people don't get invited, or there's events or something like that. I just have to be partial. So I don't know. You know who to call and ask that question.
Yeah,
I just envy the competition, the Culture City competition.
yeah. There you go.
I'd probably qualify for special needs as well. So, Luke, have you any questions? Give him something awkward.
I got a question. I got a question for Luke.
Yeah, go
on. So what's this thing on HBO tonight?
So HBO, we did a little piece, Real Sports. That was pretty cool. They came over to Invergordon to film us swim in cold water and eat loads of food. It was pretty cool. We thought it was a joke initially. We're like, this can't be real. But yeah, apparently it's out tonight on TV in America, 2 a.m. UK time, I believe. So yeah, pretty happy with that.
This one's been in the works for a while, right? And for people who aren't familiar, HBO Real Sports is like one of the most prestigious sports magazine shows like in the world. Brian Gumbel's show. But this has been in the works for a while, right? Because HBO reached out to us, I think, October last year and asked us, about footage and all that kind of stuff. So when was this filmed? I'm sure, some of the stuff will look like it's dated, right? Like y'all's weights fluctuate, all that kind of stuff. Just so for the super fans, like when was this filmed?
I think it would have been August, September time, I think. I believe, I can't remember last year. It was a bit of a whirlwind. But yeah, I think it was August, September time they came over. A huge, there was loads of people there. It was insane. Like, normally we're used to filming with like YouTubers and stuff. Like have a camera or a phone. But they had like a whole sound team, photographers, mad like video guys. So it was nice because they came over. We had a family dinner. Just happened that we had a family dinner that evening, and they managed to film that. So that was really nice. And then they got Dad. They were interviewing Dad as well, which was cool to involve him. And yeah, you'll see like the family home hopefully, and other members of our family and stuff. So yeah, it was quite a cool thing to do for someone as, I guess prestigious as, HBO Real Sports. It's pretty cool to do that.
How do we watch that in the UK?
Should be HBO Max, right?
I don't think HBO is.
I think HBO Max, yeah. I don't. No, I think if you have like a special Fire Stick.
I don't know.
I don't know anything about this.
Yeah, neither do I. Yeah.
Fire Sticks and caravans. We only sell them out of caravans. We don't use them.
I lived in New York for 7 years, and all the Irish guys had black boxes. Apparently, y'all know a thing or two about free TV.
Yeah, because
Definitely not a stereotype.
God, that was so racist right there.
Oh God.
So,
pretty much.
what is this? Will it ever be live streamed? World's Strongest Man. That was another one that kept coming up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's out of the question. It could in the future. So we have a multi-year deal in place now that, like, I just don't see. Like, it would have to restructure a contract that's already in place. So, I mean, y'all have both been to World's Strongest Man. It's not really the most palatable competition for a live stream. Even if we had, like, breakaway people at a booth talking, they'd be talking for like 3 hours, and then it's like, oh, here's guys in the loading race for the next 30 minutes. Yeah,
but
so I think that's what
the Arnold's is a bit like that, where you have long kind of spaces in between events. So it's definitely something you could manage. If like normally World's Strongest Man is 2 events a day, and you just pick a time and go live at that time, and I think it will work.
Yeah, I mean. Look, again, I don't think it's out of the question. Like, and I think like everyone here like wants to do that eventually. It's just like, how do we do that in a way that makes sense for the Arnold, right? Like they have the expo, so like, there's people can just leave and come and go, and there's stuff to do. We don't have an expo. We're not part of an expo. But the workaround here is World's Strongest Man's free to attend, and I think like this year. Half the teams on a site visit in Myrtle Beach today. Like it's smack dab in like the middle of a bunch of bars and restaurants. So like in that downtime, like whoever can just go.
I know you're saying it's free to attend, but where I am and in the UK, Myrtle Beach isn't exactly just over the road.
Right. I mean, for me, I think like 18 hours drive away from where I am right now. So, but I mean, like to go back to your example, Arnold, if you were going to go attend the Arnold, not only do you have to buy a flight and a hotel, but you have to buy tickets. So for us, it's free. You don't have to buy a ticket. Your cost of admission is the flight and the hotel. And then it's 4 days. Like it's a big ordeal. So like I think the fans who come are those diehard fans, like they know what they're getting into, and having destinations like Myrtle Beach where they can come and enjoy the city. Like it's going to be 72 and sunny. That's Fahrenheit for you guys. But like it's perfect place to just go to the beach. Literally, the event is on the boardwalk, so like people can just go to the beach and get a tan. I know Luke likes those. I think Adam Bishop always comments about how you have a tan even though you live somewhere without sun.
Sunny up here. of the time.
Yeah. But yeah,
Outside of some-
again, like having destinations. Having destinations where like people want to go, like that's part of it. Like I don't think we're going to be like in an industrial park ever. So that's part of it. But to answer your question, the live stream, I think one day we're getting there.
I think so. Yeah, it's definitely doable. When is the World's Strongest Man coming to Europe?
Yeah, I mean, I think for the next couple of years, we have an idea of where we're going to be. Like, I don't think anything's written in concrete or anything like that. But those kinds of things, like destinations, are like done years in advance. So like, it's not possible. I've seen like the suggestion online of like each year we should pick up and go to the champions country. Like, it's just not logistically possible. Yeah, I mean, like, we should be in Scotland. That would be amazing. Like, could do a whole Highland thing. With just all throwing events.
We'd have to do it inside though, because it's constantly raining.
We could do it like what was it, 2010, with the water, the loading with the water.
Cold.
Yeah, there
nice.
we go.
Luke loves water, actually. There's a little fact.
Yeah, no, yeah. The fact that it was filmed in August, I think now it's a little less impressive. The water was warmer.
Nice.
It's still cold.
Okay, this one came up a few times. It's a bit of a sticky question. If you don't like it, I can delete it. So, what's your opinion on... No, it's a genuine question. No, it came in a few times, so I said I'd write it down. What's your opinion on... And Luke, you can answer this as well if you want. Actually, yeah, you can.
Delay.
So
what's your opinion on token invites, some of the invites that have been given out?
Luke, you go first.
Who are you talking about?
They didn't say it, they just said token invites. So I suppose anyone that didn't qualify, say.
I think, yeah. That's a good question.
Do you know what? I think it's a good thing because, like some of the names that haven't been qualified, the likes of Felix, and I love seeing Felix there every year, and I think it's great that he's here this year at the age of 58 because he's shown a lot of people that age doesn't matter, you know. So I think it's a great thing that we have wildcard invites, call them, for World's Strongest Man.
Yeah, look, I don't think, like, Felix is, I think, one of the 30 strongest guys, right? Like, he's not just a guy we picked up off the street. But yeah, to that point, like, I think we're structured in a way, right? We're World's Strongest Man. We can't just pick 30 guys from Alabama. So representation is a big part of it. I think when we can align top 30 guys with like these narratives, whether, you know, Rob and LGBTQ, you know, acceptance and awareness and all this kind of stuff. Tom's got his own story. I think everyone has their own story. Like, this is part of professional sports. That's how the NBA and the NFL work too. There's guys who have stories and maybe aren't the best shooter, but like get on there because they get on a team because like they're a locker room guy or whatever. So not saying any of the 30 athletes every year are locker room guys, but you ask my opinion. It's not the World's Strongest Man's, it's mine. I think it's great. I mean, I think it's great when people can see themselves on TV and be like, oh, I you know, I want to get off the couch and at 58 compete at World's Strongest Man. Andy Black is that kind of same story. Last year, talking about using strongman to get, you know, in fitness and all that kind of stuff. So
he still isn't fit.
think that's fair.
Like Andy.
So, Luke.
But I mean, like, look, Luke over here. I mean, I think is a great example of someone, you know, using sports to like talk about stuff outside of sports.
Talk
right?
about his feelings.
Like, that's like mental health awareness and all that kind of stuff. And
Crying all the time in the camera.
like,
yeah,
I mean, like that's again sports. Sports is entertainment. It's not just strongman. It's just sports. That's how, you know, we communicate with each other. That's why Luke gets to be on HBO Real Sports and Pa gets me on his podcast. That's it. I'm not going to be on HBO Real Sports.
Bet you're sorry now. Okay. So, I think that's everything covered. Luke, have you anything to add? Oh, Luke, do you think Tom is going to win this year?
Of course I do. Yeah. That's I have every confidence in Big Tom doing the three-peat. I know there's people that would doubt that, but he is getting his stuff together very rapidly in training, which is really good to see. So, yeah, I'd love to share the podium with him, of course. I think it'd be awesome. But yeah, it's going to be, I think this year, though, just quick touching on all the athletes that are invited and coming over. It's such a, I thought last year was like really stacked and really like insane, but this year it's an amazing event, and yeah, it's really cool to be part of it again. But yeah, I don't know. Everyone's got their own favourites, but I'll always back a Stoltman for the win. It's just the way I am. And if you don't like it, you can suck it.
Yeah, Tom, like, I know, like last year you did the video of like Tom gets a better hotel than everyone because he's the world's strongest man. I think Tom's taking it to a new level though, because again, I only work on social media and content, but Tom has my phone number, so he'll text me like, "Hey, I need to upgrade my plane ticket." And I'm like, Tom, I can't help you, but like, you know, you are the world's strongest man, so like maybe I'll send an email for you, but
yeah, that's what
like,
you can do. Just get us upgraded from like economy. There's like 30 stone guys in economy class, seats flying over to compete a world's strongest man. You can pull some strings. Come on.
I can tweet about it.
I think the bare minimum. King Tom should be on first class.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, but no, Tom is an interesting guy. Like I sent him, I texted him like again, like the team's on site doing the site visit. I sent Tom like a picture of like the pool or something like that, and he just sent me a voice message. He's like, tight. So like, if I can say anything about Tom, he seems like he's loose, having a good time at it. So that usually bodes well.
Yeah, he's chilling. He's chilling. He's good. It'll be a good time. I got one for you, Mitch. About the so how did you get into World's Strongest Man? Because you just appeared all of a sudden, and then social media became a lot more. I remember was it the first year in Sacramento? I remember the social media aspect just really stepped up. We all had like photos every day to post and stuff, and that wasn't the case a few years ago. So how did you worm yourself into World's Strongest Man?
Yeah, I made myself. They can't get rid of me, right? I'm just kidding. They can definitely get rid of me. But yeah, we're actually stepping up the content delivery side. Sorry, my dog is going crazy over here. Stepping up the content delivery for athletes this year. The company who like helps us deliver that content to you is going to be on site like personally onboarding everyone, which I think is a testament to like, oh, these companies see the value in not only like World's Strongest Man, but the athletes who compete at World's Strongest Man too. Yeah, so I've been at Endeavor since 2016. Endeavor is it's a public company that owns a ton of properties. So Miami Open tennis tournament. It owns UFC. It's probably the big one that everyone here knows, and why we have so many collaborations between UFC and World's Strongest Man. And then professional bull riders. So everything like I learned that we've applied to World's Strongest Man, whether it be, athlete content delivery or, how to conduct the interviews and piece together all this kind of stuff. Really, I learned from UFC and PBR. And then I think through 2020, Luke, like you were dealing with a different team who did the World's Strongest Man at home, right? And I think like because of that and like through, he's now chewing on my jacket. He's a big dog. He's got to eat his jackets.
It's horny.
He's a Doberman, so he might be smarter than me, but not when it comes to eating jackets. No, so I think you were dealing with another team in 2020 who did the World's Strongest Man at home, and I think like because of that, they were like, "Oh, this is a bigger online community than we probably thought we had." So we're like, "All right, well, can we double down on it?" So that's like where I kind of like entered the picture on World's Strongest Man. And then 2020, I wasn't at World's Strongest Man because it was like a satellite crew, right? But like I basically just observed like what's going on, like how could we improve this? So like when we talk about like improvements year over year, like 2020, like I was already thinking about 2021 of like how we're going to do all these things. So yeah, like I'll say like it's a great company to work for. Endeavor knows a lot about sports. IMG Productions, handles the Premier League. So, working at a company where I can see all this stuff like from a higher vantage point and then apply it to World's Strongest Man, I think has benefited, I think, the sport in a large part. Sharing infrastructure of teams that work on UFC, teams that work on PBR, who can come to World's Strongest Man and be a photographer. Our photographer, we have a new photographer this year, the one that's been around the last couple of years that both of you know. He used the World's Strongest Man experience he's like a creative director for an MLS club now. So like we have premium talent that we're getting to come work on this event by introducing them from UFC or PBR. So it's a long ramble of being like, I don't only work on World's Strongest Man, I work on a lot of stuff. And I think that's a benefit, not a detraction.
Very good.
That was really
Yeah. I can only convince Dana White to wear a World's Strongest Man on a shirt on like maybe every other year, but
he's coming down to us, isn't he? Or he's some rooms booked.
Yeah, I mean we've talked to him about it. Last year, his assistant was emailing me the day before the second day of the final, hey, Dana wants to come, and I'm frantically running around where are we going to put him? So it didn't work
Into
out
my
last
room.
year, but maybe it was.
Oh wait, I'm not going.
Look, there's 2 more spots left. You know as much as I do on who's
If I get going over, I'm going to bring McGregor down to the hotel because he's over there at the minute, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's living in Vegas for
2 months. Yeah,
Ultimate Fighter.
yeah. I'm going to say it to his coach, get down here, let's roll.
Yeah, and that the benefits extend to you guys too, right? If you all end up in Las Vegas, hopefully, for all the right reasons.
I prefer to be in Las Vegas for the wrong reasons.
I'm sure that's what I was getting at. But I feel you wanted to stop by the UFC Performance Institute. It's an internal email I can send to try to make that happen. So only one athlete's ever taken us up on that offer. But
Yeah, we'll nip to Vegas and do that.
Let's roll. Imagine that, we get some good content.
Yeah, I'm up for it.
yeah,
Let's do it.
well,
Pat.
Just I'll fight.
World Strongest Man's been
I'll fight anyone.
in Vegas. Yeah.
Like one of those call out videos. I'll fight any man. Come meet me.
I was doing my shoes.
So I think that's everything. I'm gonna leave you fight with your dog.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to win this one, but you can't.
But thank you for coming on and answering some questions.
Yeah, look, thanks for having me on. I do think you're one of the more creative strongmen. I just thinking in my head that video of you trying to jump on a tire, and then all the memes that came out of that. So like fans, everyone, like just comment on this video. Let us know like what kinds of content you're hoping that we can film and do with guys. Like fan feedback is really important to us. So thanks for having me on, giving me the ability to say that. But I think this is going to be a great year, regardless of who wins it. It's going to be earned to Luke's point.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for coming on board, Luke. We'll have a little chat later and we'll talk about Mitch.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for the real podcast.
Yeah. I'll just send Tom. This goes both ways now. He could be my customer support.
I can tell you now he's fit.
I'll probably just get a voice message back being like, yeah, cool.
Joby.
Okay, guys.
Yeah.
See you later.
Yeah.
Yeah.